Hi guys, and thank you for joining me on another book review. Today we're going to be diving into How to Draw the Animated Nexus, Tips and Techniques, by none other than the man who created them, Steve the Dude Rude. Now for those who aren't familiar with Steve Rude, other than being the creator of Nexus, is an artist that you really don't see anymore, at least in the younger generation of comic book artists, and that is someone who really knows how to draw. When I was a kid, I remember my dad talking about the old Flash Gordon comic strip and how incredibly well drawn compared to the comic strips of the 90s. And it was true, and though I think Liberty Meadows was an exception, for the most part, there was a real lack of draftsmanship out there. Occasionally we'd come across a reprint of Flash Gordon or Prince Valiant by Hal Foster, and it truly was amazing to see the level of detail and realism in the poses of those figures. One day when I was in my local comic book shop in Burke, Virginia, I came across The World's Finest. And The World's Finest was basically a DC comic where Batman and Superman swap cities, and Lex Luthor and the Joker swap cities as well. So you have Batman and the Joker in Metropolis, and Superman and Lex Luthor in Gotham City. And what really stood out was the art of Steve Rude, and that was the first introduction I had to him. Steve Rude illustrated all of those issues, and it was absolutely incredible to look at the art and really feel that there was someone carrying on that tradition and style of Hal Foster and Alex Raymond, Bern Hogarth, all those old school comic strip artists. The art was so clean, and again, the mannerisms and poses of the figures made me think that he must have had live models in every one of his panels. Not the case. Steve Rude is just simply that good and experienced. He does a weekly live stream on YouTube where he essentially does an hour-long drawing lesson, and if that weren't enough, he literally answers every question that comes to him. Other than being a gun for hire back in the day, he essentially is the creator of Nexus. I'm not 100% sure how long the series has run for, and to be honest, I think there may have been a bit of a hiatus or two in the series as maybe the rights and comic book publishing companies sort of conflicted once upon a time. I may be wrong, since I think he's pretty much the official owner of the character and has been forever, but I think there was some kind of break here and there. Like any awesome comic book, inevitably there needs to be an animated version of it, and he tried for many years and sank a ton of his own money into getting the animated series picked up by creating a proof of concept. This book is essentially the template for the animators to use when drawing the characters and settings. A style guide, I guess, is what you would call it. In film, it would be used very similarly to a story Bible. It's just a way of keeping everybody, all the collaborators, on the same page. I love this book, not only because it's signed by him, but it really shows you something that you don't really get to see too often, and that's just how much work in design goes into animated shows. You got like proportion guides, you get the 360 turnarounds to keep everybody honest in their drawing of them. All of the things that shows and productions have to do just to get it up and running is really fascinating, and it's a great glimpse into what it takes to just get a team together and create a show. So if you want to get down to the nitty gritty, paper quality is not bad. It's not bad. I mean, this clearly is something that is self-published, and even at that, it could very well have come from like a very good Kinko's down the street. But it's spiral bound. It opens completely flat. It's exactly what it should be. I love it. It's essentially black and white with occasional color illustrations thrown in. Definitely pick up a copy if you are interested in the way animated shows are put together, or if you are just a fan of Steve Rude's. And to be honest, if you aren't, you should be, because his work is incredible. I will leave the website down below. This is not a sponsored video, but definitely check out his stuff. He's got books. He's always running a campaign here and there for either a new comic book or a new how-to book. And with that, I will leave you, and I hope you guys have a good day.